Hello and welcome to the Comicspiracy, episode number 64. My name is Ryan Higgins. Hello.
Are you trying to micro machines this intro?
Oh man, I do.
That's actually a great reference, right?
I do love micro machines, so maybe I'm trying to micro machines this beginning. Hey, how is everyone?
What's up, y'alls?
Who's with us this week?
Brock Sager.
Omar Brodrick.
And Charlie.
No Toby this week. He is off seeing The Amazing Spider-Man, as we all will be seeing in the next few days. So he got a nice little... Well, I think technically it opens at midnight tonight, right?
Yeah.
So he got some, sneak
I thought it
peek.
opened midnight Tuesday.
No.
I don't know. All I know is it opens this week, and I have to go see it. And we'll probably take my kids.
I
You
think
didn't
it's
shut the ringer
awesome.
off?
I apparently didn't shut the phone off.
What is wrong with today?
Oh, hey, they stopped ringing. Cool, now I don't have to get up.
Sweet.
That's probably Toby fucking with us.
Oh, it's ringing again. All right, hey, Brock, you want to go shut the ringer off?
I don't know
Thank
how
you.
to shut the ringer
Just
off.
give me the phone. Just give me the phone. I'll shut it off. Yeah, so why the hell is someone calling at 7 o'clock at night? We're closed. Anyway, today has been a hell of a day. We had just so much random crap going on at the store here. We managed to almost burn the store down unintentionally.
What the fuck happened?
Brock, why don't you tell this gem of a story?
I can't tell. It's better when you tell it because you give the
You bring the disdain.
urgency.
Well-
See, I just come in and fix shit. I don't.
Well, for those that had listened to the Geekbox podcast, you may remember very early on, this is many years ago, about 3-4 years ago now, I actually had a fire in my apartment, and so I lost my fire.
You lost my fire.
Lost my apartment.
Lost my fire. I'm sorry to hear that, son.
And a lot of our stuff to a fire. So, as one could easily think, I'm kind of...
I just joined. We didn't talk about this, but I just joined that category too.
You
'cause
did.
There was a fire at my mom's house a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, in the
Garage.
In the garage.
Nothing went up.
Yeah. And 2 months ago, there was a fire in my neighborhood, and it was a 5 alarm fire. And
Yeah, I saw your picture, your Rathacon picture, right outside the fire. Yeah, that was big. That was
huge,
That was
right?
huge. Yeah,
that was huge. I'm lucky. I got really lucky.
Yeah, and when we had the apartment complex behind the store here,
That was-
three
that was
buildings,
that was a year and a half ago.
about
Like a
something
year,
like that. Yeah, 3 of the apartments got caught on fire and burned out. So
next, Charlie.
the last few weeks we were having some computer issues. I know, Omar, you were here doing some HeroClix on Friday, and there was
Yes.
it froze up on you. Charlie was here over the weekend and it froze up on him, and I've been needing to rewire the stuff and go through everything for a long time.
For sure.
So we were getting our carpets cleaned this morning. I figured, what the hell? After that, Brock's gonna do some stuff in the back room. I'll sit around, rewire everything.
Yeah. Sorry about the big beer spill, by the way.
What's that?
Sorry about all the beer spill.
Oh, it's fine. No one knows what it was, so
Just
it's
so
all
you know,
good.
it's $100 to clean it. So for future reference, HeroClix might get charged an extra $2.
Get those people in to buy some more clicks.
No problem.
So we go to rewire all the computer stuff. I ripped out all the cords. I reorganized everything. And as I go to plug in a new circuit breaker into the wall, I plug it in and it just starts going spark, 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 and there's sparks shooting. And I'm like, oh fuck!
Fire extinguisher?
Well, no, nothing was on fire, but it was sparking, right?
Okay.
And I'm like, so I unplug it, plug it back in, spark, spark, spark. I'm like, okay.
And this is close to a lot of short,
Yeah, it's
lots of
always
short boxes.
right. I mean, this is right up at the front.
It's right in particle board.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, this is not good. So me and Brock pull everything out, and we look, and Brock gets down there and takes off the...
No. You forgot the. Well, what the hell is the circuit breakers too?
Oh, well, we spent 20 minutes trying to figure out all the unlabeled circuit breakers, what exactly they turned off, so that's always exciting. And most of them turned off nothing, which was even funnier.
Yikes.
But then so we take out this thing, and this front of this piece is just corroded and falling apart,
down.
cracked, and we're like, okay, this sucked. So we went and just got a 59-cent replacement power outlet. Brock threw it in, and it was jury rigged to hell. But the one that was in there was not hooked up properly. And God knows, for the 20 years the store's been here, we've never touched any of this stuff. So count my blessing, that thing never exploded. So I can only assume that this is causing a lot of these problems, because it's been perfectly fine today. No weird power fluctuations or anything weird. It's no sparking. Everything seems fine. So knock on wood, everything's...
Do you know how difficult it was to manage all the points by round for a HeroClix tournament with 16 people? That was not easy.
Yeah, so what happened? You were here and did the computer just lock up on you?
Yeah,
or
fucking
something?
locked up during we were trying to start the next round and just locked up, and then fucking Marshall came in and tried to do his little, the extent of his tech savviness, which is control delete.
Task manager save me.
Yeah, I hate computers. I actually spent Sunday about 19 hours from middle of the morning till 1 o'clock in the morning reinstalling a new motherboard and processor on my computer and having to reinstall the programs to do everything. And I was hoping I could just slap it in and Windows 7 would be fine, but it wasn't. So
Yeah, I've never known Windows to...
Sometimes it can be.
It's okay if you're just swapping out the processor or if you're just swapping out a video card. But if
Right.
you're swapping out the motherboard,
Wow.
you need to reinstall.
I was hoping I wouldn't have to, but it wasn't too painful. So, but that's all good. But this is not the tech.
He installed the required things like Windows.
Unless it's the exact same motherboard. You can get away with it if it's the exact same
Right.
motherboard. You can swap it out.
Well, this is not the tech, nor is it the electronics podcast. This is a comic book podcast. So
Well,
let's
then
talk.
stop giving people bad information.
I know. Let's talk about some comic books. But yeah, no, that was it's a horrible day, and then everything
Well,
else.
no, that wasn't
And
horrible. The credit card machine got busted.
It fried our credit card machine, so now I'm having to run credit cards through Square or through a dial-up service, and now it won't be delivered on the 4th of July, so now we got to wait, and so it's oh my god, so it took 20 minutes for me to get the printer to work to print out receipts. Everything just went wrong today.
Ryan, sounds to me like the cost of doing business.
Yeah, but it's all in one day.
Yeah, no,
if this was spread out over the course of a few weeks or something, that'd be fine.
He
But-
doesn't notice it until he starts to he gets to burr up his ass to clean or do something.
Yeah.
Then he sees all these problems. 'cause you
Everything falls
uncover
apart
them,
on
right?
me.
So I have a question, actually.
Sure.
So comics are technically being released this week on the 4th of July, or are they delayed?
Yes, so for people that are comic fans, you may have known in the past that books around major holidays would get delayed till Thursday. As of last year, they actually fixed a majority of those problems, and so there's no longer Thursday delays, even to the point of the 4th of July this year is on a Wednesday, and we will have books. So
Booyah.
Nice.
we will be open normal
Got the
hours,
action
so
from
normal hours, come back and come down and buy some
just
comics.
had a party.
Yeah.
Like a barbecue.
And we're having the Walking Dead thing in a couple weeks,
So?
and blah.
You're just lazy.
I just hate America.
Exactly.
So. But we got a few questions here on Twitter, so let's read some of these things, and none of them have to do with
We need a snappy thing
wiring
from
or-
the soup, right, to intro the Twitter questions because we're doing that now. So it's Twitter question.
Why don't you just say that every time and everyone will be so fucking
could.
annoyed and they'll
know.
fucking just press pause and turn it off?
so meaty, so Twittery.
So veiny.
Well, a bunch of people are asking what we thought of
Why is it
Spider-Man.
pulsing?
A bunch of people will ask what we thought of Spider-Man, and we'll talk about that next week. So there you go. Sorry,
I
guys.
think the Indians and the
Assuming
Koreans
they're
really like
talking
it.
about the movie we could talk about this week, I think Spider-Man's a good character.
Right, the movie.
The Indians and the Koreans seem to like him.
Okay. Was it released already? Or?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
didn't see the news about it's
Yeah.
more popular than the Avengers?
Yeah,
That's cool.
its opening numbers are stronger there than the Avengers were.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yep.
Let's see. What's a good question here? David Boraldi, that sounds right, asked, I hit you up to cry about Ellis's Authority run being out of print. What other out-of-print runs do you want back in print? That's a good question. What's out of print that I want back in print? I know Brock's going to say, it was technically never in print, so I don't know if this is going to work.
What?
Rebels Volume 5.
Fuck yeah. Hell, I like the old Rebels too.
How about Thanos Quest?
It's coming back?
Yeah.
Well, it's already back,
Yeah.
and it's
In the trade right over there.
yeah, Thanos Quest.
Silver Surfer, you're talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in this.
Oh.
It's in the Silver Surfer.
Cool.
Thanos Reborn.
Thanos Requiem for a Reborn or whatever the hell it's called.
Requiem for a Reborn.
Whatever the hell
For Thanos.
whatever that's called, whatever that book is called, and then they're actually doing a $7.99 soft cover reprint floppy of Thanos Quest. So
How about that?
I would like, although I have them all, I think they should bring all the question trades back into print because I think most of those are out of print at this point.
Weren't they on the list that DC recently cleared out?
Meaning what's left is going. So yeah.
So you may still be able to find them now,
Yeah.
but not
How
necessarily.
about Miracle Man?
How about Suicide Squad?
That's not out of print. They just never printed more.
Oh.
For me, it's Emerald Twilight.
A lot of those Kyle Rayner Green Lantern trades are out of print, huh?
To me, yeah, most of the Kyle trades are out of print, but I mean, that story specifically is sort of the prequel to Rebirth, sort of giving you that. I mean, I would love if they'd put what I would call a Parallax collection together in like a trade paperback the size of the Batman Nightfall trades, with sort of like the Emerald Twilight, 0 Hour, Emerald Fallout. I mean, there actually weren't that many like Hal Parallax issues. If you count them all up, you could easily fit them in a trade about that size, I would say.
Maybe DC's new omnibus stuff will have that in it. Actually, while we're on the subject of omnibuses, I get a bitch about the Infinite Crisis omnibus that came in last week. Charlie, I know you love this thing. This thing is like almost 1,200 pages or 1,300 pages or something. This thing's a beast.
Yeah, it's a beast that screams to get rebound.
Yeah.
But if you go into it assuming you're eventually going to have to get it rebound, which I'm kind of looking at going, that's kind of how I have to approach it, because the paper quality is not everything about the book. The order the issues are in, the paper quality, all that is great. It's just the fucking binding that they screwed up on. And there's plenty of services out there who will be more than happy to accept my money to rebind it.
That sucks, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it totally does.
I mean, how many pages are we talking about?
It's something like 12 or 1,300 pages.
Yikes.
Yeah, DC has had a bad history recently of having some really poorly bound, especially their big omnibuses and their big oversized books, where Marvels are like really super awesome and really easy to open, and they don't split the pages. This Infinite Crisis hardcover from DC looked like this thing was going to fall apart if I touched it. And just especially the back half of the page. Charlie's bringing it here. He's going to clock you over the head with it, Omar.
Don't kill me, please. Yikes.
So it's just, I really want to own this on my shelf, and it just doesn't open.
I don't want it to break, so I'm not going to really touch it.
It doesn't open. Like the whole back, like 3 or 4 like chapters look like it's going to fall apart. It's bad. It's bad.
Like like you said. I mean, it collects
really nice
everything.
Yeah, no.
Like all the Infinite Crisis story, all of the extras, stuff like that. It's an awesome collection.
Yeah.
But it literally looks like a really nice collection with cardboard around it.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I mean, going into what it collects, I mean, we're not just talking about the 4 prequel series. We're talking about like the Superman story that takes place between Identity Crisis and Infinite Crisis that sort of does the whole Eclipso going to Gene Loring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has a Justice League arc by the Jeff Johns and
I
Brad
didn't
Meltzer.
see it in there. But
It's in there.
But yeah, it has so much additional material. It's sort of like they really rack their brains like, what deserves to be part of this story to have it complete? So you hand this to somebody and they're not... Everybody goes through this. I mean, you look through something and go, if it only had this. I mean, when they originally solicited the Absolute Final Crisis, it was the same kind of thing where people immediately started bitching about, but it really needs this to be complete. And they pulled the solicitation and resolicited it with a lot of that additional material. So it seems like they're listening to the fact that if fans are going to buy this in a uber premium format, they want it to have everything that it really deserves to have in it.
Wait, so these omnibuses are like a fan service?
To a degree, yeah.
Cool.
I mean, considering the amount of supplemental issues and stuff in there, I was flat out floored with just the amount. I mean, it's to the point that I questioned whether or not it would have Infinite Crisis in it when it was solicited. Because if you looked up what was supposed to be included, it only mentions the first 3 miniseries plus their sort of one shot to wrap them up. They pretty much appear to have run out of room to list everything that was going to be in the book. So it looks like it was only supposed to be like, I don't know, 18 or 21 issues from its original solicitation. And it's like twice that.
Yeah, it's nuts.
In a similar fashion, DC announced, I think today, that they're actually going to release the DC number 0 omnibus. If you remember, they released last year the DC number 1 omnibus, which collected all the issue number 1s.
Yep.
Now they're going to release a 1,328-page deluxe hardcover compilation, $150, same price, of, I think it's 56.
55 is what I saw.
Is it 55, 56? Yeah, 55. Something like that. So it's no longer the new 52. It's the new 55. Oh, yeah, 55 0 issues, yeah.
So I could have bought that instead of buying the 3 dice I got for my HeroClix.
Yes.
Omar buys expensive dice, apparently. That's what we found out before recording
So it's
tonight.
my mission to find them incredibly cheap at Comic-Con.
Please.
We got another question here from
Finder's fee.
We got another question here from Cross X Hunter, one that's close to my heart. What comic in your backlog do you wish you would have read already? What comic in your backlog do you wish that you would have read already? Wow. My backlog is so effing full right now. But I was actually thinking about this the other day because, as we mentioned many times in the podcast, a lot of us are getting stuff bound. And I'm going through a lot of my stuff to see what I want to get bound. And I have giant runs of stuff that I've never read. I just collected. One of them that I've been wanting to read for years and years and years, and I only read a little bit of, and I really want to finish, is Shade the Changing Man, the 90s Vertigo series from DC. I've liked that character for a long time, and I only ever read a handful of issues when it was coming out, just sporadically towards the end. And I put a run together, and I've loved him in Justice League Dark recently, and I've been really excited to go through and read the whole book. I think that is probably my next burn through on a complete collection is Shades of Changing Man. So, anyone else? Brock, you're mostly caught up on your stuff.
I'm caught up with all the new stuff. I need to go back and I haven't read Nightfall. I need to read Nightfall. So
Yeah.
those. I need to read the Infinity stuff. The Gauntlet War and Crusade. There's a lot of stuff I want to go back and get bound, and because I look at old issues of comic books and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to read these single issues. I'm like, I want to bind these and then read them because it's. I don't know, when you bind the old issues, it's just kind of a nice little, okay, here you go. And if you get a couple of the old ads, it's kind of nice to flip through and see the ads. So I'm putting together a couple things to get bound, like random shit, like Curse of Spawn.
Cool. It's random, but it sounds cool.
So,
See, I have 2 things in my sort of to-read pile that I keep putting off. 2 categories at least. There's stuff I really want to reread. That's I really want to reread some of the old Ellis Stormwatch, and I actually just decided I really need to go through and reread the entire thing of Planetary, which was a great series.
Incredible.
But that being said, I still have I have both 100 Bullets hardcovers, and I started the first one and then stalled out because I had something I needed to read for my other podcast, and I keep staring at those books going, yeah, I really need to get back to that. But yeah, there's always a backlog. Doesn't matter how caught up you are on certain things, there's always more you want to read.
Omar?
Yeah, mine's probably just a bunch of random books that I read from Teen Titans, George Perez and Wolfman. So there's a bunch of them that I read a little story or a series, or has a cool cover that has Raven on it, who I think Raven is way better in Starfire. But anyways,
I'd like to interest you in these nice Teen Titans.
Ooh, look at that!
Yeah,
I think you should.
Brought to you by
because this is only $75.
Sure.
Much better investment than your die.
Yeah. Well, what's funny though? I have a lot of these issues because I've just been going back and the one with
I need to pick up volume.
with Mr.
Dr. Light.
Dr. Light, yeah, Dr. Light, the awesome guy that I think he's like the ultimate douchebag of DC. I love this guy. I didn't read that whole little arc.
If there was a Jeopardy with Sean Connery, he'd be part of the rapist.
Don't call them
category.
sidekicks. Yeah, of course, because my love for Young Justice too. I just feel like I should have read.
Yeah,
this
I have the first one of those. I still need to pick up the second, and it's another thing on my list of stuff I need to crack open and just power through.
Now the binding on this one and the binding on you have the Flash ones, right, Ryan?
They're all right. They're better than the Infinite Crisis.
They're better
one.
than the Infinite Crisis.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, I don't know. It's like they're learning. Like with the Flash, there was too little material in that first Flash omnibus, and then the second one has kind of more, like it's overcompensating for the first one.
I think they basically made the second Flash omnibus so big that they're like, look, if you bought the first one as well, we're gonna even it out with Volume 2, because Volume 3 that's coming out that's to the end of his run is not as big as Volume 2. So they'll probably end up rebinding 1 and 2 at some point to make more even sizes. because Volume 3 is a little bit smaller, but not as small as Volume 1. So, well,
so we're just going to name all the omnibuses that I stare at all the time going, I want that.
My shoulder freaks me out all the time.
we got a question from Lupside Down 1, who actually a question is literally the next set of books I'm reading, so I haven't read this yet, so maybe you guys can answer. Has anyone read the Culling event, the DC Teen Titans Superboy?
Yes.
You didn't like it?
Yeah.
It blew.
Yeah, I'd be repeating what this guy said over here. Ginger.
Yeah.
It's kind of like wannabe Hunger Games. I mean, it pretty much feels that way. Wannabe Hunger Games, wannabe
Battle Royale,
whatever you want to call it.
Because I mean, like,
when you're around Irish Line to Die.
I have no clue the Hunger Games thing because I've avoided it like the plague.
Good for you.
In general, it's an incredibly blah story to be crossing over all these different groups with.
Yeah.
I like the Harvest character. The Harvest character, he's interesting, but it's too much just of this Battle Royale Hunger Games thing going on with, the crossing over Legion and Teen Titans and Superboy.
I've been catching up on stuff kind of in families, and I'm in the Young Justice line right now, so I'm trying to catch through up all that. And the last issue I read just introduced Harvest, so I'm right about to start to hit the crossover. So.
Yeah, and then
now I'm looking forward to it.
Everything that I've read so far, from Teen Titans, I've loved.
Yeah.
And then this whole Culling thing came, and I'm like, fuck, I want to drop this book. That's the way I am. That's my mentality these days.
Even the follow-up issues have just been okay. There's certain things that they actually introduced in the Culling story arc that I'm very curious about. So there are certain, like the whole thing with Kid Flash and I don't remember, Timberwolf, was it?
Yeah. From
Legion.
Yeah, and they had an interaction real briefly where it seemed like he recognized Kid Flash's scent, and that wasn't a good thing. So, I mean, there's little things like that where there's now been questions introduced because of the crossover that I'm very curious to see how they explore.
I'd be very happy if that means that Kid Flash is actually from the 31st century, like he was.
Yeah.
Pre-New 52, because that episode of Young Justice with all the flashes,
oh my god,
that made me miss Bart Allen so much. Like Impulse.
Wait, are we going back to cartoons?
No, we're gonna get away from it for a second.
It all goes together, man. It's all the same medium. It's all how we breathe it and experience it.
All right, Brock. How about this? Really? How about this, Brock? How about this? There's an animated movie and a new movie. Live action movie coming out from Marvel and Pixar and Disney and everything. Possibly. These are both rumors. Neither of these are official yet.
Is this your version of a segue?
Sure.
Because this sucks balls.
Whatever. What do you think of an animated Big Hero 6 movie?
Who the fuck is Big Hero 6?
Exactly.
But hey, you can get Big Hero 6 number 1 on eBay for $18.
No, what do you think?
Look in the quarter bins, people.
No, what do you think of a live action Guardians of the Galaxy movie?
Fuck yeah.
Tying in with the Avengers.
Fuck yeah.
I was going to say the only thing that I wonder about when it comes to a live action Guardians of the Galaxy just has to be, if you're going straight into the cosmic stuff with the whole Thanos thing, I almost wonder if it's going to be a full-on Avenger tie-in or how exactly that's going to work, because you have to have Thanos in it if you're doing a full-on cosmic thing.
Little backstory. A bunch of sites over the weekend, or over this weekend, Bleeding Cool, I know Comic Book News, or Comic Book Movie News, is that what the site is? A bunch of these rumor sites and kind of fan-run sites. They were all kind of reporting on two new things that Marvel's apparently working on. Disney got a bunch of licenses and domain names and registrations for Guardians of the Galaxy products, which they're thinking is going. And there's some rumor that I think it's basically official. That it's being announced at San Diego that they're going to have a Guardians of the Galaxy movie in the Marvel universe with the live action Avengers stuff. And then there's a Big Hero 6 animated movie / Pixar / whatever. Big Hero 6 is this totally like throwaway like group of heroes that I think came out of Alpha Flight.
Yeah, Alpha Flight 17.
And I remember this
second series.
Yeah, it's like this Asian team. I know Sunfire's on it. I remember this book coming out and being like, all right, this is dumb. Like, whatever, it's all right. It was nothing. And these characters have appeared like twice. So, okay, Guardians, we'll get to Guardians in a second. But why would they use this when there's so many properties for Disney to start with?
Because I guess for me, it really has to do with the fact by taking something that they don't necessarily want to move into the standard movie universe. I mean, they could obviously do a full-on Avengers movie or something, and people would go, ooh, ah, but you saw this with Warner Brothers quite a few times going, we want to sort of have one show on TV, one movie, and not oversaturate the market.
Could this be the first of the direct-to-DVD Disney animated Marvel movies, much in the way that Warner Brothers does?
I hate to say it, but if they can make this a big success, it will probably open the doors to that property again. It actually kind of reminds me something that Jeff Loeb said once upon a time at a convention I went to. He was talking about at a writer's panel about how you go up to these people and you pitch them a good idea for a Superman book or a Batman book, and they're not going to care. You pitch them a good idea for a Jimmy Olsen book that makes you interested in a story from that character, and they'll care quite a bit because it kind of shows there's always going to be the next Batman story or Superman story, and you kind of, in some ways, have to work up to that. So in some ways, it helps to start going with somebody who isn't that popular and prove that you have the chops to make them engaging.
That's true. That's true.
So.
Well, and it's also a Marvel. I mean, I don't know who it is until you told me.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's a property that they kind of have. They don't have to go, oh, we own the rights to this, because they already do. So it's like, okay, let's work with this and see what we can come up with. And like Charlie said, it's if they can make it work, they can make it work. If they can't make it work, what's the big loss in working with something small like this?
Yeah.
Not to mention a team like this, in a weird way, kind of feels like it belongs in, because they've been doing this big push with their animated block and everything to be like, we want this stuff to appeal to younger audiences and kids. I hate to say it, but just that team in general kind of screams out to me like, yeah, that they're going for a kid audience.
Go for that anime style.
Yeah, the anime, get the kids interested.
Yeah,
and,
it's possible.
All I gotta say is about Galactic Guardians, if they're doing live action, they better have Cosmo. They better have fucking
Galactic.
So who are these Galactic Guardians?
You got HeroClix on the brain, dude. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy. Wait, Guardians of the Galaxy. Cosmo's on there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cosmo and fucking who's that little fucking Rocket Raccoon?
Well,
Raccoon,
Yeah.
Groot.
The team that's been kind of rebrought into the Marvel universe, because Guardians of the Galaxy has been one of my favorite comics for years. It was done by Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning, who did a fantastic job in the book when they relaunched the Marvel Cosmic stuff back in, 05, 06 or something.
I read a lot of this stuff, by the way, because of you guys, and it was fucking
great.
awesome.
Yeah,
Incredible.
all the Annihilation,
Yes.
Nova. The more recent version of the team that was reintroduced in Avengers Assemble last month, I guess last month because it was June, is, I'm looking at a picture here, was it Major Victory, Rocket Raccoon, who's badass, by the way, don't laugh at Rocket Raccoon, was it Gamora, Drax the Destroyer, and just the new Drax. I don't like the new Drax. And Bug, he's the guy from ROM. I don't know if Groot's still on the team. He's the big tree guy.
Mm-hmm. Groot's awesome.
Look at Rocket Raccoon's shoulder. Is there a twig on it?
I can't see. It's just like one panel that they show up in. I mean, if this is the team they're pushing for a movie, cool with me. I don't know who the fuck's going to go see this movie. But I mean, I guess if they tie in with the Marvel Universe, everyone will go see it. But man, can you imagine a live action? I mean, I was so happy when Green Lantern came out. Shut up. Despite the haters.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying,
you're hating.
Marvel just needs to do better than Green Lantern, and they're perfectly fine. So they have a great jumping off point.
He just bitch slapped you all over the face, Higgins.
I don't care. I'm so over people hating Green Lantern. I could give a rat's ass. I mean, I loved the Green Lantern movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Man, a live action Guardians of the Galaxy movie, that's awesome. Because Green Lantern, I could see them maybe eventually doing. Guardians is so out of left field
sure
that this could be awesome if they really do this.
Just give it to the Farscape people. That's my only suggestion.
I don't like Farscape.
No, get over it.
I just lost all my nerd cred.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like smoke and mirrors to me. I know we wish for something like this, but I have a feeling it's just like some fucking Albatross.
Well, the Guardians of the Galaxy could be Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, right? And this is what they're calling Avengers 2, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's them going into space fighting Thanos. But if it's Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers 1.5, Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's like, whoa, we have to defend against Thanos and this big space invasion.
Well, I think that if Marvel does what they've been doing and giving us this world and establishing this world with Iron Man, with Thor, with Cap, and in a way with Hulk too, then we get the Avengers world. Now we have the Guardians, which is, well, we've introduced Thanos. Now we need to explain the rest of this world. Like, we need to know who was it Skiar? What the fuck are they called again?
What?
The Shi'ar?
From the movie?
Yeah.
The Chitauri?
The Chitauri, yeah. Like, we need to see kind of where they came from. So Guardians would be a great way to kind of introduce everyone to that kind of world, in the sense of Thanos doesn't even need to be in the film, but the fact that they know about Thanos, or that Thanos is brought up, it could add more to our understanding of it, and it could be a standalone movie on its own.
Well, I'll tell you what. A Guardians of the Galaxy movie there's a chance, Nova could be in it.
Yeah.
And a live-action Nova?
Shit, that means live-action New Warriors.
Nah, it's just being ridiculous.
That means they're going to cast you as Speedball.
Please.
I would...
You'd bleach your hair. You'd bleach your hair and get a Soul Glow perm.
I'd lose 50 pounds and become 18 years old. Sure.
We're going to hold you to trying out.
I have a weird comment I just realized.
Okay.
Is this about balls?
Well, it's more about the cosmic stuff.
Okay.
Other than Guardians of the Galaxy and Nova and that kind of stuff, considering Surfer's off limits, if they did want to explain the cosmic stuff, who else could they have gone with?
Well, you're kind of screwed because FF, the Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer aren't available because they're owned by, I think, Fox, right? You probably can't do the Shi'ar, maybe. I would think the Shi'ar is part of the X-Men, and the X-Men is part of Fox.
Yeah.
I would think.
So it kind of seems like this was their only choice to explore
the Skrulls are part of the Fantastic Four, so you probably can't. I mean, I don't know exactly how it works. I know I read somewhere that apparently Scarlet Witch was like a dual.
Yeah, Joss Whedon went on record saying that they could be used in either the X-Men movies or the Avengers movies because they were part of both those properties.
Right, so it wasn't exclusive to one or the other. So that I mean, it's possible that something like that, that you could get around that with everything, the Shi'ar and the Skrulls, and you could use all these space guys in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie if you wanted to.
But my point is you don't necessarily want to just do hey, this is our cosmic universe. It's got to have some sort of centralized characters to go around.
Right. And throwing...
I don't think they have anybody else to go with.
No. Silver Surfer, Guardians of the Galaxy...
Well, there's Adam Warlock.
Yeah, but Warlock...
He's too metrosexual hipster gay to be the centerpiece of a film right now.
Awesome.
Adam Warlock is awesome, but he's super aloof, and Silver Surfer is, for that matter. I don't think we'd ever see a solo Surfer movie. That just doesn't scream movie to me.
Wow, I'm gonna completely get lynched by fans here.
Hold on, you ready for this, Charlie? Guardians of the Galaxy via Firefly by Joss Whedon. Yeah.
That would be nifty.
That would be nifty. You're not going to throw that idea away.
Maybe.
I will never throw any idea that involves Doctor Who, Firefly,
involve Firefly.
Joss Whedon.
You can't involve Firefly.
Why?
That's a Fox property.
But hey, Whedon, you want Firefly, but you can't have it. Here's a Guardians of the Galaxy.
There you go.
Have fun.
Even then, I mean, Fox already was it Universal make the Serenity movie?
Yeah, I think it's Universal.
So, I mean, Fox has already pretty much opened that.
Well, we got actually we'll get back to Serenity in a second here because I know Charlie's really excited for something. But let's stick with one more big comic thing here. Earlier today, big announcement from DC that we're getting the return of a character that people have been waiting a good long time for, just about a year. The Joker is coming back to Batman by Scott Snyder and
I just came in my pants.
And Greg Capullo. And it's going to be a big event. Well, I don't say it's a big event. It's going to be a big story in Batman. So this is the follow-up to...
If it's anything how Snyder treated Gordon Jr. in Black Mirror, I mean, I can just imagine what he's going to do with Joker.
Yeah.
And Joker with no face.
Well...
That's the thing that I'm really curious about is... There's a huge question mark right now in terms of the status of the Joker, and this is...
Well, let me read this. Let me read this.
Please do.
This what he says here on the DC Comics blog.
Can you do an impression?
I have no idea what Scott Snyder sounds like. He says, "This is my big exploration of the Joker, my Arkham Asylum or the Killing Joke, only bigger in scope. This is the biggest, baddest, most shocking Joker story I could tell. This is Joker completely unleashed. He's been away for a full year planning this revenge, watching, plotting, setting things up, and now he's back." Yeah. The name of the story is called Death of the Family, which is a play on Death in the Family, or Death in the Family.
That's a little semantics, a little play on.
Right. The arc where they killed Jason Todd back in the 80s. So,
which is that in print now? Or is that
it's still available.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. Death of the Family, the Gordon family, the Wayne family.
Let's just call all the families. It's the only way to be sure.
Falcone.
Hit the death of the Joker's family. We don't know. Did they turn to him and they go? Did they turn to Scott Snyder and just go, "Look, we need the Joker origin. Let's do it."
I mean, have we gotten it?
No, never officially.
But I don't know. In my mind,
what did he compare it to?
He goes, "This is my take on Killing Joke in Arkham Asylum. Like, this is my big Batman Joker story."
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't see Logan / Wolverine being better because of that whole origin series and talking about how he's fucking James Howlett or whatever his name is, and Joker's different. I understand. But
despite not maybe needing to do Wolverine origin, I think it got to the point where I was glad that they moved him beyond that point of Wolverine just not knowing his past and I don't know, it's a web of riddles wrapped in enigmas, and it's like, no, just okay, we're finally just get this over with, okay, done, and now you can move the character on. And
that was actually one of my favorite things after the House of M, and even during the House of M, was the fact that what Wolverine got out of it was not necessarily a good clean cut thing of his memories, but he technically has all his memories. I don't know where Wolverine is now for sure to say exactly how much of this stuck around.
Yeah.
But I remember the story right after House of M, because in House of M, he basically, his big dream of the world is to have all his memories, so he remembered everything. He remembered his false life, his real life, and it's all kind of jumbled up in there. So I kind of like, to a degree, he wasn't 100% sure what was his real memories and what were his implanted memories and all that, depending on timelines.
And the other thing it gave us the fact that his healing ability not only works physically, but it works on a mental capacity as well, where
which was messed up.
Which you take this idea of a traumatic event and you block it out. Well, his blocks it out completely. Like he has the ability to erase it. So us kind of seeing the beginning and where it started, it's like we're let in to see who this person is, who he will never know who he is.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those. It's kind of one of those. We pull the curtain away and we see what's going on, where the character doesn't see that.
I would have been fine.
Plus, now he can do all sorts of hangover stories where he wakes up and goes, "What traumatic event wiped my memory last night? Damn it!"
No, that's some funny shit.
Now that you've said that, like Wolverine number 314 is going to be like Wolverine Hangover Edition. There's going to be some stupid monkey in it and a couple of other characters.
Please don't go there.
And you know what? They're going to invite Peter Parker in because he's single. Why not? Let's go Bachelor it the fuck up.
Anyways, back to Joker.
I'd actually buy it because it might be interesting.
Joker's awesome.
No, I love the Joker. But yeah, keep the mystery, keep the fucking... you don't need to try to connect all the dots. If someone could do it, Scott Snyder, Scott Snyder's incredible.
Yep.
But I disagree also with the whole connection to the Black Mirror, because that guy, we didn't know shit about, really. That was a character that was never really explored. Joker has been around for how many fucking years? And
The reason I disagree actually is because of The Dark Knight.
Okay.
I want as many potential origins for the Joker as possible.
Uh-huh.
I don't mind having a potential psychotic story that you're not 100% sure if he's just fucking with you or that this is really what happened to him and why he's doing what he's doing. I think that's, given the level of psychosis the Joker has, his quote-unquote origin can change from week to week.
Mm-hmm. I remember when I was watching Dark Knight, in the part where he starts to talk about like his mom beating him or his dad beating him or something, I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, they're giving the Joker the origin. Like, no. And then later on, when he kind of changed the story up, I was like, okay, that scared me.
You see it. Well, you see it a lot when he deals with Harley Quinn in the comic books, where he's telling her, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," and you see it in the back of his mind. What is he doing? He's laughing because he has you.
But she's a genius too, right? So you're fucking totally like just fucking with the genius.
Yeah,
like,
but that's the thing is he's laughing. That's the joke. Is he's the only one in on it?
Well, but here's the thing. You hear about sort of like the quote unquote method actors and that kind of stuff who won't break character and all that. I kind of see the Joker the same way, especially with the way they talk about how he sort of comes back reinvented every time so he's not always pulling the same joke or doing the same thing.
The same gag, yeah.
I could completely see him constructing a new version of himself every time with a new origin, and personally, I kind of like that idea. I kind of like the idea of somebody so messed up that he recreates his own persona, his own origin, and brings that brand new version of himself into Gotham. And
well, it's like you always had the Joker in school, right? The guy that always made jokes and was funny and caught all the attention.
Yeah,
but that guy always evolved, right? You see that guy that guy became the guy in the Las Vegas commercials. It's like, yeah, I'm a doctor, right? Or yeah, I ride horses or bulls or whatever. Like, you lie, you just lie to see if you can get away with it. So it's like and that's the sense is you're playing a joke all the time. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe we're kind of getting down into, what makes him tick.
Well, we got another character that's coming back. And by the time you listen to this podcast, unless you listen to it Monday night, you may already know the answer to this. So we'll update this next week when we find out more. But a character who's been dead for about a decade in the Marvel Universe might be coming back at the end of Avengers vs. X-Men.
Ooh,
And that is Jean Grey herself. Killed at the very end of the fabulous Grant Morrison X-Men run back in the mid-aughts. Man.
Was that towards the end?
Yeah, it's the very last issue. It was the 4-part issue where it's like all the future crap. Or she dies in 150, and then it jumps into the future. It was like the issue, it was like the arc right before he jumped off. And that's where they killed Jean Grey.
I know. I remember some of the aftermath of that in my head, and
they canceled every X-Men book after 154. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I know nothing.
Okay. Well, I guess Joss Whedon did a miniseries, but then no other X-Men book was published after Morrison left.
Well, no, I just remember, and maybe my timing on this is completely messed up, but I remember some scene with Wolverine over Scott and Emma's bed making some snide comment of "this is what you do when you're," and then Scott shooting Wolverine through.
That's Joss Whedon, right?
Is that Joss?
That's Joss Whedon.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds right. But they picture
aftermath.
A picture
aftermath.
It's all connected.
A picture popped up on Entertainment Weekly today that says, it's Jean Grey. Let's see. She's modeling her vintage blue and yellow X-Men outfit from her Marvel Girl days. We can confirm that her presence in the Marvel Universe will not be imaginary. It will not be part of Ultimates. She will not be a zombie hologram like Shard. What could this mean? Check back tomorrow, which is Tuesday, which means we'll know by the time you listen to this episode. So this is pointless to talk about now.
Well,
we'll talk about more next week.
It's kind of pointless to talk about because it got brought up in Marvel Infinites, the online digital comic that, I don't know, do any of you read it?
No.
So
I thought you don't read Marvel comics anymore, bro.
Me?
Yeah, bro.
No, I don't buy them.
Oh.
I have to read them. so I can at least have something to track.
So how did you read the Infinite?
Brock linked me to this Bleeding Cool picture that is just, I mean, it's just a one-shot picture.
It's from what I read, it was Scott has the Phoenix Force, and he creates this image of Jean and stuff, and she's talking to him, but it's alluding to the fact that they're going to bring her back.
Yeah, so I don't know. So just I don't know what they're going to do with Jean, but yeah, this is maybe this kind of the start of it is in this thing, but I don't know about the rest.
Okay, I'm glad they're bringing her back.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. It's fine. She's been gone long enough.
More Ginger, so I'm cool with it.
But does that mean? But for all those Cyclops Emma Frost shippers out there, what are they going to do, baby?
They're just going to hook her up with Wolverine.
Well, let me explain one thing. Cyclops has always had these two problems. Like, if you write this character, this is the two problems that Cyclops has. He either has to have some relationship problem, or it has to be something epic with the mutants. So since we're already doing this huge crossover with the Avengers and it's epic and all this, we can't go back to another one of those. We got to go to a more personalized one. So what can we do? Oh, we got to bring Jean back.
Does she go to Wolverine?
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, I hope the same. I think really Cyclops and Emma Frost are a better, dichotomy connection.
I don't think it's a better dichotomy. It's just how messed up would the whole storytelling be if they just went, oh, Emma, I know we've been together for a decade, but now that my wife's back, I think I'm going to go.
I know what they can do.
Mephisto can magically divorce them.
I'm going to freak you the fuck out when I say this, but I know what they can do. Sister wives that shit.
I wouldn't know what that is.
You know what? Or even better, Jean Grey and Professor Xavier.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah. That's like old teacher, young girl.
I don't know. He looks pretty young when fucking
in the XXX-Men porn.
Yeah, I guess Professor X. I don't even know what's up with him. I haven't read Legacy in like 10 years.
Yeah,
I don't follow. I have not read a book with Professor X in it in like the longest time. I have no idea what the hell he's doing.
I read the Legacy arc right after he got shot in the head.
Yeah,
and I enjoyed that stuff. It was a lot of callbacks to old X-Men issues. Beyond that, I saw him pop up in like Wolverine and X-Men for one issue, and then he popped up in the latest Avengers vs. X-Men.
He's like in a Pop-A-Mole game where you see he pops up and you want to whack him with one of those.
Yeah. That's basically what he's... See, that's something I don't like fully understand. They're like, solidarity, the mutants have to be together, but you're not invited, Professor X. You're not allowed.
Was he a mutant anymore?
As far as I recall, he is.
I thought he lost his powers for good, no?
I thought he lost... Well,
no,
they both lost their powers.
Right.
And both their powers were restored. That was part of Legacy. He had his powers and he was going around using them to recreate memories that he had lost. So he'd go see Wolverine and sort of
use Wolverine's
memory. And
yeah, I never read that one.
It wasn't bad. I read it.
It was good. I liked it.
Well, for what started to be kind of a quiet week, there's a bunch of shit came out today, so it's going to be a lot of talk about. But there's something else coming up in a couple of weeks that I know at least 2.5 of the 5.
Week and a half?
Week and a half. 2.5 of the 5 people that are here are going.
Yeah, next Wednesday.
Well, 2.5 of the 5 people on the podcast.
3 people from this podcast.
No, 2.5. Because you're going to San Diego Comic-Con, Charlie. Toby's going to San Diego Comic-Con. Omar is maybe going to San Diego Comic. Half of him will be there.
I'll be there. I'll be at the beach, and I'll be at a lot of parties.
Yeah, you'll be there. Maybe not in the convention. So you're half going.
You need to be just.
Are you betting against him?
No, I'm not.
I'm completely betting for the fact he's going to end up in there. In fact, I'm betting for the fact he's going to get better seats than me to everything he goes to.
Omar's smooth, man. He knows how to get there. But
he's just going to roll backstage with Stan Lee and be like, "Yeah, dude."
Partying with them Thursday night. Hey,
there's a whole bunch of crap going on at this con. I'm gonna scroll through this program here and read off some stuff that seems kind of cool. And Charlie, you can let us know what you're going to, and Omar what you want to go to, and what we can sit around and expect to hear about on here. But they're actually showing the pilot to Arrow, which is the Green Arrow show.
Yeah, if I recall, they're doing that twice. They're doing it once on Wednesday night with a bunch of other premieres, and then I believe they're doing it again for the Arrow panel.
So there's a full on Friday. There's a full on panel.
Yeah, there's a full on panel, screening and panel, if I recall, on Friday.
So, it's like I'm just scrolling through here, and it's like, just completely look over, stuff like, oh, a Jeff Darrow spotlight. Okay, sure, that's nothing important. Stan Lee's going to be there with a bunch of voice actors apparently doing some YouTube channel. Man, that guy keeps pimping. What's up?
There were 2 panels that weirded me out a little bit.
What's that?
There was a Spotlight Scott Snyder panel, and then right after that, a Spotlight Scott Snyder and somebody else panel. I'm like,
is it Greg Capullo?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't remember offhand.
Well, I'll see if I can find it.
But I just find it weird that they're literally like back to back. A Spotlight Scott Snyder. Spotlight.
Weird.
Yeah.
Cartoon Network's doing a How to Train Your Dragon animated series. I guess they're going to have a trailer thing there for it. That was a good movie. I like the movie a lot.
Yeah.
It was fun stuff. I mean, what else is on here? God, I mean, there's so much stuff. You go through, it's like, okay, there's a Twilight panel, DC Collectibles panel with Jeff Johns and Jim Lee.
I found that interesting that they're at the Collectibles panel.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
is this
that's cool.
a toy panel with Mattel?
Yeah.
Okay, take toys to this.
No, with DC.
Oh. Because if you go to the Mattel panel, bring toys and pelt those fuckers with them.
No. Kidnap them and make them repaint them for you.
Ooh, for all the...
I hate you.
For all the gamers out there, Street Fighter 25th anniversary with a bunch of the producers of the franchise are going to be there. Giving us some free swag.
Game or the movie?
That's cool. Game. I wish there was a movie panel. That'd be awesome. There's a Marvel House of Ideas panel with Joe Quesada.
So is it a matchbook?
Huh?
Is it the size of a matchbook?
What's that?
The House of Ideas.
I mean, God, going through this. So here's your Night of the Owls panel with Tony Daniel, David Finch, Chris Burnham, Kyle Higgins, Gail Simone, J.H. Williams. Oh, and this Scott Snyder. I was like, and no Scott Snyder. What the hell? Oh, there he is. No Grant Morrison, though. Interesting. I thought Morrison would be there.
I don't think Morrison's at the con at all.
Morrison wasn't involved in any of the Night of the Owl stuff.
No, whatever. It's still a Batman panel. Why wouldn't you have Grant Morrison?
Well, every con I've been to that he's been there, they've had a Spotlight Grant Morrison panel, and I don't remember seeing one in the...
It's because he's doing Morrison Con.
All right, so here's the panel question for you on Thursday, Charlie. Blizzard Entertainment with Chris Metzen and Cat Hunter, or the Psych panel, both going on at the same time.
I think I'm going to try for the Psych panel just because I went last year and the Psych panel was really fun.
Psych is one of my favorite shows. Sorry, Blizzard, but I'll go to the Psych panel too. I didn't even know there was a Psych panel last year. I totally wish I had known because I would have gotten to that.
Hey, the entire cast sung a extended version of the theme song.
Yeah, they have everyone there. It's
I think last year you were dealing with your toy issue.
Not at this time. Yeah, it's everyone. It's all the main actors on the show. That's great. Yeah, that's awesome.
Good panel.
But at the same time, it's MTV's Teen Wolf panel. So I don't know. Decisions.
Wow, Blizzard, Teen Wolf, or Psych.
Yeah, dude, Psych is awesome. You got to read Psych.
That whole thing just tears the nerds up.
Omar, what do you? I'm sure you looked at some of this. What are you looking for?
Oh no, I'm just looking at my Yelp preferences and connected back to San Diego to be my current location, primarily in the gas lamp. My regular spots that I hit up are like Analog Bar there, Wired Cafe. They're gonna actually Wired, so they're gonna be sponsoring like a little PR, a little VIP section where some people get to go to and hang out and get free drinks and all that kind of shit next to a pool. I'll be there. There's a
open bar, dude.
Yeah, there's a cool ass little bar, kind of like up the street from Analog, it's kind of like cowboy bar kind of, and a bunch of like
What panels are going to be at these bars? Do they have panels there? Or?
The best ones, the ones where they get drunk and give you the honest fucking shit.
I was going to say you probably get better panels at bars where they actually answer questions as opposed to just going wait and see.
I mean that's the big thing too. I mean you get them a little inebriated. I mean. The big epic moments for us last year were we were rolling with Joe Mad. We were bar hopping a little bit, and that fool was just like spilling shit, and but it's just too bad. I'm really sad to see that he's off.
Too bad he can't
Spider-Man
spill
already.
some ink onto a piece of paper.
Yeah, that would be awesome if he was able to do that. But whatever. He's a video game guy now. So, I mean, my normal shit. DC, all the DC panels.
Big Walking Dead panel on Thursday. Comic panel. Not show panel. Comic panel.
Okay. Yeah. We'll see
have
about
a show panel on another day.
Yeah. I'm sure.
I don't know. For me, for Comic-Con, I don't try to attend too many of those like late night sleepover events. I'm like about partying in the gas lamp with a bunch of people that are kind of like my brethren, my nerd fam. Cruise around on fucking 90-degree weather in my Stormtrooper costume, sweating like a bitch, but then just fucking hollering.
You need to go
it's
in
awesome.
a Stormtrooper with just a helmet and then a whack ass regular attire, like you're on vacation, like a Hawaiian shirt with like.
Everybody does that kind of shit. I just, you got to update your armor. You got to keep it clean and tight. It's just like black suit. We got a classic event.
We got an Archer panel. We got a Vertigo panel. We have the big podcasting panel. The Dexter panel with
a podcasting panel.
Yeah.
Why are we not involved in this?
It's got guys from Comic Geek Speak and iFanboy and Word Balloon. Real comic podcasts that people actually listen to. The Dexter panel with the Dexter live riff tracks. Okay. And that's not even Hall H. Like Hall H is like, Workaholics, Lost in Translation. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Inside the Batmobile, Zombie with Max Brooks. Yeah, like inside the Actor Studio.
Zombie with
isn't
Max
that?
Brooks.
Yeah.
That's World War Z.
Well, World War Z got pushed back. So I'm just saying, like, okay, everything that I've said, this is all Thursday. This is one day. Like
that's not even.
And that's not the
more
busy
exciting
day.
Days.
Yeah. So there's your sing along blog from 8:30 to 10. Robotech Industry panel. Yeah. Ridiculous. I don't even want to look at Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I'm going to get you depressed.
Quick question: was there more panels last year, or is there more panels this year?
It's always pretty much the same number of panels.
I think it is always every panel is booked 24 hours a day. Okay, I'll look through Friday here for a few minutes. I got the Comics Pro panel that started off today, which is actually a thing I belong to. It's a big comic organization of comic retailers across the country. DC's got a talent search and from concepts to page, which is about the art stuff. Community panel at 10 a.m. with the whole cast.
That's what I was forgetting.
Community panel is going to be depressing as fucking hell because everyone's going to be asking about Dan Harmon and no one's going to say anything. But of course, at the same time, it's the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic panel, so that's a difficult one.
I'll be in Community.
My Little Pony.
But I'll be in Community because...
And the same time as the Nickelodeon TMNT panel. Blah.
What? I saw the frickin' trailer for that and I went, okay, everybody gives the animation on Green Lantern shit and that's an awesome show. This is so much worse.
Mike Mignola panel, Star Wars by Hasbro panel, Herb Trimp, old school Hulk artist. He's getting a nice little panel. That's cool. DC's got their Superman panel on Friday. He's like, basically all I do is just sit on Twitter and Comic Resources and Bleeding Cool and just reload.
That's what I did last year when you went. And I was out.
You probably knew more than I did when I came back.
God, my brain was on overload. I was trying to do a review on the blog. I fucking wanted to shoot myself in the head.
If you ever want to see a riot at Comic-Con, from 12 to 1 o'clock on Fridays, the Maddie panel, from the Maddie Collector panel. So you can go there and watch 1,000 angry fanboys who have been overcharged 20,000 times by Maddie Collector and never get their figures.
I got all my figures.
You can watch them pummel the
I got all my credit back.
Yeah. Oh.
Go Digital River.
12:05 to 1:05 on Friday. Big Bang Theory.
Fuck yeah.
Screening and Q&A.
Wish I could go.
But unfortunately, that's at the same. That's at the same time as the Firefly 10-year reunion panel, and now we're at what I wanted Charlie to talk about finally after bullshitting for 20 minutes. What's going on at this panel, Charlie? I heard there's a show called Firefly that some idiots like.
Did you ever watch it?
I did. I liked it. It was all right.
Yeah, I was about to say if you really want to keep going there, burying yourself.
I thought it was okay. I enjoyed it. I did not see Serenity. I will
Firefly? I think I saw the movie. Was there a movie?
Charlie's going to murder us all.
I don't even know.
I'm not even going to look at the rest of this. This is too depressing.
Is that Fillion guy in it?
Let's see.
Castle? The guy in Castle?
See, I thought this was my nice little safe haven. I mean, I'm at work and you mentioned something like Captain Kirk and people go, who? And recently we were talking about horror movies and that kind of stuff, and I brought up stuff like Evil Dead, and I made a kind of like, what? What are those? I'm like, you have no clue who Bruce Campbell is, do you? So yeah, I thought this was like my nice little safe zone.
I've seen Firefly.
Thank you.
I've seen Serenity.
Thank you.
I enjoy both immensely. And I enjoy the fact that Wayland Industries is involved in Firefly. I think that's awesome.
Firefly is pretty good.
Pretty good? Go die.
Yeah, it's
in
okay.
a corner
It's
somewhere
okay
right now.
It's really bad at the beginning. really bad.
You don't like Cowboys.
Okay.
Like, really bad.
Like, what are you talking
But
about?
by the end, it's
Yeah, go find a corner and die.
by about halfway through the show, it got better, and then by the end, I liked it. I mean, I did enjoy it. I didn't see the movie yet. I'll watch it sometime.
Okay, flat out, I am really excited for this panel, and you're not invited.
I know.
You are not invited.
I hope so. So, do they announce Joss Whedon takes his billions of dollars he made from Avengers and is remaking Firefly on YouTube? Because
As much
they're going
as
to
they
kickstart
could.
a YouTube channel for Firefly.
As much as they could, I'm not holding my breath. I mean, there's been a couple of times when
It's Joss Whedon and the entire cast.
Joss Whedon and the entire cast, which yes, is a awesome feat in and of itself. But I can't help but look and go, at least 3 of those cast members have other things going on right now. And as much as they all love Firefly, love the property, I just don't see Nathan Fillion walking away from Castle at this point. I don't see it being something that I could see them maybe announcing a Serenity 2, just because they could definitely get the cast together long enough to make a new movie. Mm-hmm. But I don't see them being able to like full on relaunch it as a show. But I mean, that being said, this is like any kind of show that you love that's been off the air for a long time. If you can get the entire cast in a room with their fans, that is a treat. This is not the kind of thing you're going to see every year at Comic-Con, or even when they did the anniversary of like Farscape, because they were putting out the DVDs and stuff. They only brought in Claudia Black and Ben Browder, if I recall. I mean, it wasn't even like this to me is huge. And
I remember a couple months ago, Will Wheaton was posting on Twitter that one of the Canadian Star Trek conventions actually got the entire Next Generation cast for the first time, like for they all together at one con, and they had like a big panel and everything. So yeah, no, I totally get it. I'm making fun of you. No, I think it's going to be huge. This is going to be this is probably going to be the biggest panel at the con, outside of those, Twilight and Big Bang Theory and other garbage that people watch.
I don't understand how it's not in Hall H. That's the one thing that shocks me.
Game of Thrones is there.
Hell, if it was in the same room, because it's not at the same time. If they had moved this to Hall H, I would just blow off the community panel, blow off the Legend of Korra panel that's between, which actually is another thing that surprises me, the Legend of Korra panel is in Ballroom 20. Again, it seems kind of like, I watched Legend of Korra. I really like it. I just didn't know it was that popular to get in Ballroom 20. For those of you who don't know, it's like Hall H is the big one for movies. People camp out. It's really hard to get into that room without camping out in a lot of ways. Ballroom 20 is like the next step down. It's where they put a lot of the TV show panels.
That's where Game of Thrones was last year.
Yeah.
And I tried to go there 6 hours beforehand. No. They're like, no, Omar. No.
In order to get to the community panel, we had to sit through like 4 other shows, which I actually all now watch. So big ups on that. But,
okay.
Yeah, or attempt to watch or want to watch.
How many times were you able to go pee?
I got up once or twice. You can get like bathroom passes and stuff.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something.
Bathroom passes. These what?
You Brockets, you don't.
I
you
need
don't
to go to
go.
one of these just to watch.
You don't want to go.
The
You'd kill yourself.
Fucking retarded.
No, all the big sites pretty much, do the live feed, or they, give you.
This was we were talking about this. I think that they need to step it up a little bit.
Yeah, they need to have more stuff at Comic-Con because they're just not really doing enough.
Step it up a little bit in the sense of
the coverage.
Live feeds are great, but it's a live type feed.
Okay.
It's like do the E3,
but you would
stream the big shit.
You can't though. You would be talking 20 streams at one time for every room. There's a lot of huge stuff going on at all times.
I completely understand. There's a lot of
and the
huge
problem
stuff.
is if they're streaming stuff, then there's no reason to go. E3 works because it's not a.
But that's the thing is there's limited tickets to STC. There's limited tickets. Like,
so you're saying they should just pay-per-view it?
They could.
Hey man, I buy BlizzCon every year. If they put Comic-Con on like a DirecTV streaming internet thing where you get access to every room, I'd buy it.
You heard it here first.
Other people have said this. I'd totally buy it. Yeah, just to watch all the live streams. Sure, I would. It's not going to be free.
No, well, how much is Blizzard's?
$40.
Yeah.
It would be more than $40. It'd probably be like $100 or $200 for the whole weekend.
I'm just thinking it would be the cost of buying the tickets.
Right,
probably.
exactly. Sure. And if it was the cost of buying the ticket and sitting here and having to fly and off to get a hotel room, and Charlie picks up all my Maddie stuff, cool.
Dude, you know what I would so do? I would so like go to a local bar around here, like a local dive bar, and just do like the SDC live ticket or whatever. Just get tanked all day.
But you'd be with a bunch of dude bros, and you wouldn't be hanging out in fucking beautiful San Diego with a bunch of fucking hot, beautiful women.
Fly down.
Okay.
Fly down to San Diego with Omar and just bar hop the whole time and never even enter the convention. It's like, why even bother buying a ticket?
I mean, there's time for panels and stuff, and it's called WonderCon. Comic-Con, you go there, you have a great time.
We don't know if we're getting that.
All right.
I'm actually looking at Stockton Con going, maybe I should go.
Charlie, you want to get shot? Charlie, you going to be here next week?
Most likely not.
Okay. Toby's may or may not be either. So we're
back to the two-man crew?
I don't know. Well, we're recording on Sunday next week, too. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, I'm not surprised, but I think I'll be gone already. So.
Okay. Well, we will miss you. We hope you have fun at the convention. You better buy me my death figure. Oh, you already bought me my death figure.
He already got us our death figure.
So
I still
sweet.
owe you money for that.
I'll just be busy tweeting you all the time.
That's
hey,
fine.
Ryan. Hey, Ryan.
I do it. I got to know my
The
stuff.
best one is, hey, Omar, check out these dice.
Omar, when are you leaving?
Flying out Wednesday morning.
Oh, okay. You got plenty of time.
Yeah, I'm here.
That means you're going to be here for our...
Spider-Man.
Maybe for our... Well, Spider-Man talk next week as well. And
Brains and beer.
Next week, we're doing our Walking Dead 100 release party.
Brains.
Tuesday night.
Beer.
We're going to be...
I'm going to be celebrating bankruptcy, hopefully.
Nice. Have fun with that.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be closing up at 6, opening up at 6:01, and having a Comic-Con or pre-Comic-Con Walking Dead 100 release party. We're going to have food and drinks and play some cool movies.
Love it.
This is
Play
the first party I think I've missed since
Nice.
you took ownership of the store.
Cool. Well, you
Dear.
suck.
But you're going to be at the Walking Dead survival
Right.
thing. So, it
I'll be
balances
getting
out.
killed by zombies instead of being here.
And I'll be watching you guys from the Coliseum seats with $80 in my pocket, laughing at you guys.
You're not doing it?
Fuck no!
What are you?
When I saw the ticket price, I was like, "Fuck that, dude! That's
Don't
like
be a chicken
that's
shit.
like 2 bar stops for me."
This is the first time.
It's like $600 or something, or how much?
No, it's like $80.
Joking.
But they actually sold out on Friday already. Did you guys get tickets for Friday?
I am holding off.
Oh,
so.
okay. Yeah.
You
I
get a special cover.
was going to say, the only reason I'd consider doing it is I'd flip the special cover to make up the cost.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because I'm pretty sure I can flip the cover to make up the cost if I do it.
Certainly.
But for those not going to Comic-Con, and if you're here in the Bay Area, you should come to our awesome
Totally.
Walking Dead 100 release party.
Yeah, the
You
party's
guys-
If you
fun.
want to be chased by zombies, just wait till people get a little drunk.
Right. We've sold about 40% of our full sets of all 8 covers plus Chrome cover.
Nice.
So we've already pre-sold those. You probably want to get on the website soon because I didn't think we'd sell out. We might. We're getting close. So closer than I thought we would by this point. So you can go on comicsconspiracy.biz and scroll down a little bit. You'll see our Walking Dead release party, and you can you can pre-order your copies there. We ship them out if you're not local. You can always do that. So, or if you're local, come pick them up. It's super cool. We'll have a fun time. Geekbox people, Comic Conspiracy people, you guys should come by.
Have you gotten the drink list up yet?
No, not yet.
What are we going to do?
I don't know.
Come on.
We'll figure it out.
Brainstorm.
If you would like to tweet us your Walking Dead drink suggestions, you could tweet myself at Ryan Higgins Ryan. You could tweet Brock at Brock Sager. You can tweet Omar at
See, this is me
Comics
just
at the
thinking you should tweet various people from the horror genre, like, tweet Bruce Campbell, I need a good drink to do an honor of you. And I'm sure he'd tweet you back.
He might. That's a good idea. Yeah. Of course, Charlie's Insanity and Chaos, and Toby's not here. It's Toby XI. But you can tweet him, too, and be like, Walking Dead drink, blah, blah, blah. And he'd be like, what is this? I don't understand.
Well, there's a Sixth Sense. But, I mean, you might like this. You ready?
Yeah. Let's do
Wild
it.
Turkey, Jaeger, Goldschlager, 151 Baileys, and Sambuca.
So you're just vomiting?
Blag?
It's actually, it goes down really, really smooth, and you taste each liquor at different times, but not in a harsh amount.
You lost me at Goldschlager, bro.
But you know what happens when you drink a couple of those?
Blag?
You see
Start
dead
seeing
people?
Dead people.
Do you see yourself? Because that sounds like you fucking vomit in someone's face.
No, that's a lesbian baseball team.
Vomit in someone's face?
No, that's the drink, the lesbian baseball team.
Nice. So I don't want to know about your weird drinks.
I'm down with that drink.
Do you know why they call it that?
I don't know, because they go...
Come on.
Okay, down with all of you. So,
Come on. No, we got
www.geekbox.net is the site where you can download this episode and all our other episodes. Forums at geekbox.net is where you can go to go on the forums to talk to us about this episode and give us your Walking Dead drink suggestions and talk about lesbian baseball teams. You got our Twitter accounts. Comicsconspiracy.biz is our site. You can go on there, buy those Walking Dead covers. 20% off if you buy the 8-cover or 9-cover set. So get on there and get that because they're going to sell out. Go to conspiratorbrock.blogspot.com. Oh, no, it's just conspiratorbrock.com now. That's what it used to be. Conspiratorbrock.com.
7 months ago.
Sure. You can go on Brock's blog, go talk to Brock about stuff. Comicsindecline.com. That's Omar's awesome site talking about HeroClix and comics and
buddy.
hip-hop stuff.
Have you updated in a while?
I have not.
Because you have not shown up in my Google feed at all. And I'm like...
What am I going to do? I got a busy social life, bro. I got to take care of my dog.
In the Infinite Longbox, who Charlie is the only member of the Infinite Longbox going to San Diego Comic-Con. So, Charlie, I now give you this, even though it'll probably be impossible.
I may be the only one. Not 100% sure yet, but it sounded likely.
Toby told me he was going to bring me back all this stuff of people giving us intros for the show from Emerald City Comic Con. Never happened. I don't know. I know you guys got the ones for you. So you're going to get on there. You get a voice recorder. You just run into Joss Whedon and be like, "Hey, Joss, yo, Joss, I need you to pimp our podcast." And then after he pimps the Infinite Long Box, have him pimp this one too. Because I'm not
sure I could sling together a coherent sentence if I just ran into Joss randomly.
Yeah,
Mr. Joss.
Yeah.
So
this is why you have the voice recorder and a index card and you hand it both.
Yeah.
Right? And at the beginning you say, "I'm sorry, I look like a complete idiot right now." But I can't say anything because I'm in your presence, oh great one.
So when you're walking down the street and you see Stan Lee and you're like, "Stan, look, dude, I just, hey, I'm a big fan, but can you pimp this podcast for me so we can have Stan Lee says the Comicsconspiracy is an awesome podcast." Now, that's all I ask. Joss Whedon and Stan Lee. That's not that much.
Snyder is my request.
I'm just asking. I'm just telling you to do this. So
we can just ask these guys. They're on Twitter.
I don't think Joss Whedon's on Twitter. It's not real.
It's all their PR people.
Yeah.
All right. I hope he's on Twitter, but I'm not following him.
Yeah, no, I don't think he is.
You don't follow him?
Maybe you are following him, you just don't know. All right, we're going to wrap this up. We've been blabbing too much here for the last 20 minutes trying to end this podcast. Charlie, have a good time at San Diego Comic-Con.
Always do.
We will have a nice big wrap-up episode 2 weeks from now, I suppose. Next week will probably be a lot of Spidey talk, but Toby, I think, is going, so I'm not sure. Well, we'll see. We'll figure something out for next week. Week after that will probably be El San Diego, so should be good times. Is there anything else?
On Sunday.
Go see Charlie in line 24 hours before the Doctor Who panel on Saturday.
In his Doctor Who trench coat.
He'll be the one that's trying to be first in line, and probably not, but hopefully.
I won't even be trying. I'll just show up there late, crash on the floor again, get joined by people in line the next day as the line's moving in, and Toby go, "Wow, I got here on time."
Barely.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk to everyone next week.